Notion Forms has been an amazing update, especially for simple form creation. But if you're looking to add payment capabilities, accept signatures, and do more complex customizations, you might need to consider alternative form tools. In this video, I wanted to introduce you all to Jotform, where you can create complex and versatile forms and even an embeddable AI assistant that can help users fill out forms. You can still manage your submissions in Notion through Zapier, and the Forms and Chat Assistant work great when embedded into Notion sites. If you find this video useful, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. To get started, we can go to jotform.com and you can create an account and get started for free with Jotform. Just to give you a brief overview and tour of what Jotform looks like, you have your left-hand sidebar with your workspace, team workspaces, shared with me, assigned to me, send, drafts, favorite, archive, and trash. So it's a very simple system on the sidebar. Up at the top, you'll see templates, where you can easily get started. Jotform actually has a lot more than just forms, so if you're interested in exploring that, you can also see a whole variety of things you can add here. There's also a lot of integrations that you can look through. You can see the products, support, enterprise pricing, and your account here. For this, I wanted to show you all how to create a sample form so that I can go through all of the features that sets Jotform apart. So if I click plus create, here you can get started by choosing what you want to build. I'm going to click form. Next, you can simply type what you're looking for in the form or get started with a template or just start from scratch. So I'm going to go ahead and do start from scratch. And here you can choose between the classic form and the card form. So I'm going to start with the classic form. And in here, you can upload your organization's logo. You can add your organization name and then get started that way. So we have our form here. I'm going to call this one a template, feedback, and assistance form. Next, we can click the add element here to start adding elements. So one of the first things you'll notice with Jotform is just how many things you can add. Compared to Notion, where there's not too many options, you can even add a CAPTCHA, you can add things like spinners, appointments, signatures, and so much more. And then you can even handle payments through all of these platforms as well. If you want to connect it to, for example, PayPal or Stripe, that's totally possible with Jotform. And then we also have widgets, which allow you to add even more elements to your form. So this is a very versatile form builder, and I think you can pretty much do most things that you would want in a form. We're going to get started with the basics. I want to add the full name here so that when you ask for feedback or assistance, we need the name. Then I'm going to add an email by clicking here. Whenever you want to edit these properties, you can click this properties here and change the field label. You can change the alignments. You can choose whether or not this is a required field. So let's say that email is required and name is also required. And then you can check the options, advanced, like this. So there's a lot you can do even within the different properties. Next, I'm going to go ahead and add the first question. So this one is going to be a single choice. I'm going to do, are you looking for? And the first option is template assistance. And second one is template feedback. And then I'll do this. Also add an other option like this. So now we can move this over below the email. Another thing I'm going to add is a short text. Which template did you purchase? And then I can move this one below here. So we have name, email, which template did you purchase? What are you looking for? And then the next thing I'm going to do is to add some fields I would need for someone who needs template assistance. So that's going to be a long text, and I'm going to say, describe what happened. And then I'll also put a place where they can upload screenshots. And then another thing I'm going to add is if they just want to have a call with me to get help, I can also just add my Calendly in here. So that's another thing that I really like about Jotform is the fact that it can also connect to other tools. So I can go ahead and paste that in and then update, and then you'll see here the Calendly booking page. So I'm going to put book a call. And for this one, I need this one to be a required field, so I'm going to turn that one on. And the next thing I'm going to add is a few more elements for people who aren't necessarily looking for assistance, but they just want to leave feedback. So for that, I'm going to add a long text here, template feedback, and I'll move it to the bottom. And then I'm also going to add the rating system. So now we have a very simple form, and we need to add one more, which is if it's other. So I'm going to put comments if it's other. And now if I go into settings, I can edit the conditional statement. So I can go to conditional and do show or hide field. So I'm going to click here. If I'm doing what are you looking for, and then is equal to template assistance, I want to show multiple, and what I want to show is the describe what happened, the screenshots, book a call here, and then I can save this one. I can next add another one, which is that I want to show if the what are you looking for is equal to template feedback. And then I want to show the share your template feedback and rate the template and save. And then for the third condition, if it is a what are you looking for is equal to other, then I'm going to show the comments. So now if I go back to my build and then I can preview the form, I can see how it works. So we have name, email. If I put template assistance, describe what happened, screenshots, book a call here. Then if I do template feedback, share your template feedback, rate the template, and other, I can just have comments. So everything is working properly. And next I wanted to describe a little bit about how you can customize your Jotform. So if you go to the form designer, now you can add various color schemes like this. And what I like about Jotform is also that you can have a complete customization of your color scheme. So here you can see the page color, form color, font color like this, and you can even add custom images. If you go to style, you can do form width, question spacing, font size, and even button styles and more. So the level of customization compared to Notion is a lot more. You can also choose a theme so that it's easy to get started with, and then you can also choose your layout. So for embedding into Notion pages, I prefer the card form so that it takes less space on the page. So I'm actually going to convert this now to card form. It's going to have a whole new view, so I can actually just choose, for example, this one with a more darker color scheme. And once I'm happy with this form, I can go ahead and click publish to publish it. And for publishing, you can see that you can simply share the links to the form. You can invite people by email, and you can also embed it into web pages. And you can even download fillable PDF as well. So there's quite a lot you can do even in the publishing stage. So now I'm just going to take this link so you can see what it looks like. So it would look something like this. I would fill it in, and then I can choose one of these, describe what happened. I can add any screenshots. I could book a call and then submit. So if I'm back in Jotform, and I can now see the submission here. So template feedback and assistance form, and I can go to inbox to see exactly all of the submissions that have come in. So you can see all of these details here. And next I wanted to show you how to now transform this form into an AI assistant. So I find this part really cool. So if I go to my more button here, I can click create agent. And what that's going to do is basically create an AI agent assistant that's going to be for helping users to fill out this form through chat or even through voice. So here you have a customer support agent, and you can see, hi, I'm Lena, your AI agent for template support. How can I assist you with your feedback today? So you can do provide template feedback or learn about template support. You can see how it works here. I'm going to change it to this chatbot approach. You can check the settings and change things here. You can change the welcome. So whether you want the chatbot, so how you want the chatbot to appear, the greeting, and you can choose the buttons. You can also click this button here to change the avatar. So if you want to change that, you can. And you can also generate an avatar or upload your own avatar as well. And you can also click here to change the style. The next thing you can do is go to train. You can train it with different knowledge bases, upload files to train your agent, add links, and so on. So you can do all of these things. You can then publish it, and you can go to the standalone direct agent link. So just so that you see what this looks like, if I go to there into the, you can now see the chatbot. So if I want to give template feedback, I could click here. It's initializing the form, and I can provide my full name. So as you can see, the chatbot works really well here. Now we basically have both a form and an AI assistant that links to the form. Next, let's go over how to add your Jotform and also the AI assistant into a Notion site. So here I have the digital product landing page Notion template, which is available on my store. And in this case, this is a Notion site. So it's meant to be shared as a web page. And let's say that we want to add our template feedback and assistant form into that. So we could just simply copy the link to the form and then paste it in and then choose embed. You'll see the form show up here. You can make this bigger so that it fits better. And then you can just have that start. And this can be a part of your Notion site like this. Another thing that you can do is to add that AI agent. So if I copy the link to that AI agent and then I put it in here and embed it, I can have that agent inside of the Notion page. So I think that for a Notion site, the customer support agent can be really useful. You can simply have your users just type into here, and what I find very unique also is this voice feature. So I can just talk with Lena, and if I click this button, I'm going to be connected with her. The user can also see that they can submit the template form here, and it's connected here, and you can also see your chat history. So overall, I think that this is really cool and really fits well into a Notion site. So now if I want to share this, I can publish this page, and then I can click the link here, and then we can see what it looks like on the published site. So here's what it would look like if you go to the website here. As you can see, everything is there, and you can fill out the form. You can also see the AI assistant on the left-hand side like this. I think this is a great option for Notion sites. And now you might be wondering how to connect this template feedback and assistant form to a Notion database. That can be done relatively easily through Zapier, which Jotform has a connection with. So if we're over here on Zapier, you can make sure that your app connections contain Jotform. So you can see here, Jotform is over here, and make sure that you also have connected your Notion workspace like this. And then what you can do is click create Zap, and then you basically need to just choose Jotform as a trigger. And you can choose the trigger event, which is a new submission. Then you can continue and choose the form. So in this case, we have our template feedback and assistant form, and then continue. And then you can test the trigger and continue with selected record. The next thing we're going to do is add it to a Notion database. So we're going to click here. And in this case, you can choose the event. So what we want to do is to create a data source item. We can go ahead and make sure that the account is correct. Then we would choose the data source, which in this case, I have a database set up for template feedback and assistance. So I'm going to connect that. We can choose the template. In this case, we don't need that. The name is going to be the name. So the answer's name. And then the email is the answer's email. And then you can include the date fields here and then add that date in. So date of submission. And then inside here, you could fill out all of the answers. So I'm not going to do all of them, but for example, you could have them have the describe what happened. So I could put describe what happened and then have them answer here. Then I could also add the answer, which is the answer screenshots and so on. So I can really just write out what I want the Notion page to look like and then continue. So then if I test the step, we should see that sample end up in the template feedback and assistance database. So if I open it up, you can see template did not work. Answer screenshots, we didn't fill that in, so we don't have that. it's pretty easy to set up and you can just publish that. Thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in Jotform, who's the sponsor of today's video, be sure to check the link in the description. I think that if you need more features than currently available on Notion Forms, Jotform is a great alternative with so many possibilities, including capturing payments, signatures, and more advanced customizations. I was especially impressed that I could embed an AI chat assistant that can help users fill out forms on a Notion site. Let me know if you have any questions or comments, and I hope to see you all in the next video.